Hello everyone and welcome to a brand new episode of my McLaren Return to Glory. Today we're here for the Canadian Grand Prix at the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. Now before we jump into today's episode guys, as always, the previous race, the Spanish Grand Prix, will be linked in the top right. That is the plug. Go check it out. Spoiler warning ahead, so yeah, this is your chance. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. It was the first race with the new patch 1.08, and there was also an AI buff in terms of their difficulty level. So we'll see how that affects things heading into today's episode. First things first though is taking care of a rivalry. Picking up our new rival, which in this case is going to be Charles Leclerc, if I can get my words out correctly. We also get a new upgrade on the car for the DRS mechanism. So that is going to be a major, I think possibly an ultimate to be fair, which will give us a nice boost. We then go to the chassis upgrades and I actually chose to skip a major one to go straight onto the ultimate ones and do the front nose cone structure for weight reduction, as that could be a big upgrade for us and that can move us to the top of the chassis side. Now we had a second air upgrade planned but it failed, so unfortunately we also cannot repurchase it right now because we don't have enough points. So for now we're going to skip ahead by a few days, and once those few days went by we arrive at Canada and we can now afford that upgrade. So we're going to go ahead and put it on the car and get that locked in for hopefully the next race in Austria. So yeah, with that done, we now can actually jump into the weekend's action at Canada, and we have that air upgrade on the way and also a ultimate chassis upgrade on the way hopefully as well. So weather forecast has rain for Sunday, which could be spicy. Quite a lot of rain, 92%, and pretty much the second half of the race entirely in wet conditions, so that could be very interesting. As for upgrades, the big update or the big mover this weekend per se is Haas. I mean, look at the step forward they've taken. They've brought an absolute huge upgrade package this weekend, and now there's a clear gap between us and Alpine in what is very clearly a top and bottom half of the performance chart in terms of the teams. Now practice wise we had some rain already and the track was getting more and more wet. I went out straight away in practice and we managed to just about squeeze in the race strategy program, which the track after this got too wet. We only just managed to beat the lap time. We also ran the old engine, so power unit number 1 in its entirety. So yeah, pretty decent session to be fair, getting the program done in time in the conditions and also getting through it with the old engine. So last race we forgot to change those old components. This time we're not going to make the same mistake. So after practice I learned my lesson from the last episode and we're going to change every single component besides control electronics and energy store, because we have to make those last a little bit longer as we only have 2 of those for the whole season. So yeah, with that done, we can now move into post-practice bonuses and R&D points. We take our total up to 1,500 points, and so far I would say it's a bit too early to say if the reduced R&D points is affecting us or not. We'll have to do a few more races to find out, if that is an issue, and if so, we'll go back to standard points if necessary. For now though, we're going to jump into qualifying, and now we're going to get into the business end of things and see exactly what we're looking at pace-wise, because I think we've got a good car here, but I could be wrong. We'll have to find out and see exactly what other teams are looking at in terms of competition. So here we go into Q1 and soft tyres on our car as we are currently on a banker lap, looking to hopefully I'll say get through on this set of tyres and not have to burn another set. That would be the goal for this one, and based off the pace in practice that seems to be the case, unlike in Spain where we was a bit on the back foot. So yeah, for the final chicane, looking to close out the first lap, and we're going to run up to the line. It's going to be a 1 minute 8, yep, 1 minute 8.9, and we go P2, which is pretty insane. Purple sector 3 according to the minimap. Bottas setting the pace in the Ferrari as we went for a second push lap as always, just to make sure we can improve. And you can see we're currently P4. Lando's got ahead of us, Leclerc as well. So we're going to go for a second lap here as always doing this first run to see if there's any time left on the table, and that's exactly what we found in the first 3 corners, as we found a 10th, but then we lost pretty much all of that through the chicane, which wasn't ideal. We actually lost arguably a bit more than that, to be fair. We found some more time though through the left-right chicane of I believe of 6 and 7, and then pretty much kept that lap time the same for the whole lap, and then the final chicane wasn't as good, didn't really commit as much speed, and we was not able to improve on a second lap. So yeah, another 108.9, P7 for now. Back to the garage, and you can see we've got a very comfortable margin. So 3/10 off the top, and we've got 8/10 in our back pocket over Sonoda, so we are not going to go back out, and that is going to see us comfortably into Q2. Lando looking pretty strong. We finish half a second off the best time, so not too shabby. Hulkenberg 6/10 away, so a big improvement over Spain, which was a bit of a disappointing weekend as a whole after the Monaco race. But yeah, seems like the AI issues aren't really as bad here, so we're looking pretty decent pace-wise. Either way, Q2 then, we're going to get the lap underway, and we're going to see if we can improve. We've got a bank lap in mind. The 1 minute 8.9 is what we've done in Q1, so that's going to be the target lap time for this session as Sainz sets the new benchmark. Through the chicane though, we carry too much speed, hit the wall, break our wing. I tried to keep pushing with the lap anyway because there's not that many corners around here, but we invalidate through the next chicane due to lack of front downfalls, and I still finish the lap anyway just to kind of see what the pace would have been. And with the broken wing, we still set a 109.5, which isn't that bad to be fair. That's not a terrible lap time. Either way, we're going to have to go again, set a clean lap. So here we go, this is it. We're going to hopefully get through here, or try to get through on this set of tyres. So here we go, lap underway. We know what we have to aim for, at least in the 108s. That is the minimum in terms of a target. So out of the first complex, neck and neck, not really much in it so far. Into the first of the chicanes, we don't really attack the first apex enough, and then we lose the back end on the exit, which is costly. Considering we broke our wing and we're going slower, that is a bit of a red flag, a bit of a concern. So we've left some time on the table there in the first sector, you know, with the damaged wing, so we weren't even fast with the full wing. We found a load of time now though through the next couple of chicanes as we improve, of course. Losing the back end though through there, not really improving that much. Losing a bit of time in the first part. And so far, this hasn't been the lap that I'm looking for. There's time to find in the final chicane, but we need at least 6/10, and this isn't really in the ballpark. So I made a very last minute call to actually slow down and back off. I'm going to slam on the brakes here to recharge most of my ERS, or a good enough chunk of my ERS to get some back. And we're going to try and go again because, yeah, I wasn't happy with that lap. That wouldn't have got us through at all. So, yeah, we need to improve. And we've got people like Leclerc and Hamilton in the drop zone. So, faster cars yet to go faster and improve. So, here we go. We'll try again and see if we can go a bit quicker. First sector, we know there's time to find. So, we've just got to try and clean that up. So far, it isn't looking that great. And that last lap has actually registered as a proper lap time because it was valid. And we're going even slower in the first sector, which is a real big red flag. We're pretty much 2/10 down what we could do in the first sector, really, and it just hasn't been that good so far. Currently neck and neck. We found some time through that chicane, but yeah, this is the one. This is the one we have to nail it. We have to throw the car in here and find some time, and that's exactly what we do, and that is a bit more like it. That's the sort of time I left on the table on the last lap. Into the hairpin then, down to second gear, trying to make sure we get the drive out here, which is going to be really, really important. And that's exactly what we get. As you can see, we find a chunk of time on the delta, and now we just have to throw it through the chicane, commit, and try to find that lap time. So at this point, take a breath, wait for it. Once you see the chicane, throw the car in. We're way too hot. We got the line completely wrong. You want to take way more inside curb on the first apex. We set a 1 minute 9.1, slower than Q1. P9 for now, but are we in danger? The answer is yes, and we're out of qualifying, and we're out by a long, long way. P15, everyone found a lot of time on that last lap, and I mean a lot of time. The goalpost got completely moved compared to the previous references. As for myself, I'll be honest, I feel like there was at least 2/10 in the first sector, and probably another 2/10 in the final chicane alone. That would have been about 4/10 in total, which I don't know if I would have got through, to be fair. I think P11 would have been quite easily achievable. The top 10 just had a bit too much pace, and they're really tight and compressed for lap time. So it's a really competitive top 10, but I don't quite know if I would have had the pace to compete. So yeah, P15, and we've got work to do. This is a really poor qualifying. I should have got Q3, and I missed out. P11 should have been damage limitation, and we messed up. So yeah, race has rain forecast. That might be our saving grace. Either way, we're going to have to fight back because this was not the qualifying I had in mind.
We're back once again beside the St. Lawrence River here in Montreal for the Canadian Grand Prix. The event first moved to the variant of this track back in 1978, and it was won by none other than Gilles Villeneuve, the first Canadian to ever win his home race, and in whose honour the circuit would be renamed. With top speeds of around 210 miles per hour heading into the overtaking opportunity of turn 13, the 2.7 miles of the circuit Gilles Villeneuve are some of the quickest on the Formula One calendar. There are 14 corners in total, with 60% of the lap taken at full throttle, and average speeds clock in at about 130 miles per hour. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. An immense lap from Carlos Sainz yesterday puts him in pole position, and it's Valtteri Bottas that completes the front row. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Hamilton, Albon, Russell, Leclerc, Oscar Piastri, Norris, Gasly, Verstappen, Magnussen, Perez, Ocon, Martinez, Hulkenberg, De Vries, Sargent, Tsunoda, Joe, and Théo Pourchaire. And now it's time to head down to the track. Natalie Pinkham joins me once again in the commentary box. It's fantastic to have you with us today. I'm curious though, how do you think the drivers stop those pre-race nerves from becoming overwhelming when you're lining up on the grid?
Well, the regulations aren't new anymore, but the teams and the drivers are still coming to terms with them. I firmly believe it's also track specific. We've seen some wheel-to-wheel racing throughout the year. Some tracks lend themselves better to it than others. I'd like to see it at every race in the whole season. Is that too much to ask?
Here we go then, time for the race at Canada, P14, work to be done, but rain forecast, which is going to be very interesting. I don't know when it's going to arrive, and that could be the real key tipping point in this race. For me, I'm going to go relatively safe and start on the medium. My intention is to go straight onto the intermediate, so we'll stay on this tyre as long as necessary. Go onto the inter, possibly a full wet, but I reckon we'll probably stay on inters. And yeah, it should be hopefully a one-stop, so medium to inter to finish. Pretty straightforward. So yeah, I'm not going to lie, qualifying was disappointing, but I'm still here to win. I'm still here to get a podium at the very least. That's my target. I want that result because that's the pressure I'm putting on myself today. I've got the pace, and I want to try and get that points finish because Spain was painful the last race, and I want to try and get a podium to kind of bounce back, or maybe even a win. I'm really wanting a win, but we'll see if that works out. Either way, I'm going to try to push. I'm going to be aggressive. I'm not going to wait for the rain. I'm going to see if I can try and gain some places early and just, really gain those places early on. Hope to get around the top 8, top 10 when the rain arrives and then see what happens. So, yeah, guys, aggression is the name of the game. Strategy, conviction, and belief. We're going to win this race. I'm going to make it my mission. So, guys, like the video, subscribe, and let's get to work. Here we go. Let's line her up. We're going to keep it relatively straight. No need to point to the inside. Perfect. Line up. Here we go. Let's try and get a good launch. Hopefully, a clean start. Lights are on. Great. Excellent start. A little bit of traffic. Getting boxed in. Could have gained so many places there. 3 wide, Magnussen, Gasly, Verstappen. Everyone seems to be on mediums, or the majority seem to be on mediums. Oh, that's a snap. P12 for now. Easy does it into the chicane. We can try and send it on Magnussen here. Going to try and squeeze through. Around the outside of the Alfa Romeo. Bosch. Back end snapping all over the place. Overtake done. P11. 4 places gained, which is excellent. Verstappen on a soft tyre. Realistically would be quite fast. Magnussen back for more. Brake early. Don't want to run to the back of anybody. This will now be a proper straight line speed test, so we'll probably lose out in acceleration always, but let's see how the VMAX holds up. That's going to be the real test. The speed trap was pretty decent. Going to knock the brake bias back a little bit. I just struggle so much with that chicane, man. My muscle memory is just so hardwired to the old games. I still struggle to do it even following other cars. I want to go like deeper into the corner. Anyway, good start on the cusp of points. A few cars on softs. Hopefully they'll get out of the way once they pit. Although I reckon I could probably pass them on track. Running in a bit deep on the brakes. Taking a wider line, but it will give us the exit. Not sure if I'll be able to challenge Verstappen into the chicane, but we may be able to get the run down to turn 1. DRS will be enabled as well next time around, so that should be interesting. We're dead even in terms of straight line speed. Not a bad chicane. Good enough exit that we can challenge.
DRS is being enabled this lap. We can use DRS when you're within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone.
Verstappen still there. Left some space, but we get him around the outside of 2. And that is now P10 and into the points. Excellent start to this race as we pick up an early warning there. Just a little bit careless. Cutting the second apex. We are really strong in the hairpin. Very strong. Able to brake late, get the car rotated. Hence why we was purple in qualifying quite often in sector 3. Yellow flag up ahead.
Caution, caution.
We're going to enter a yellow flag zone unless we can clear in time.
There's an incident in the next part of the track. No overtaking through the yellow flags.
Oh, let's go. We cleared it just in time. Signs out Ferrari reliability again. And that gives us P8. What a start. What a start to this race. Already up 6 places and we have legitimate pace so we can fight. But Ferrari's reliability is shocking. Every race, pretty much. It feels like it's either Bottas or Sainz who retire. Right, no DRS on Lando, so we've got to try and fight to get back in here. So we'll use the batteries. I can't quite get within Lando's DRS, although my pace isn't bad. We're still keeping up. I think Albon's running P2, by the way. Insane performance from him so far. The Haas upgrade package working very well. Verstappen has also overtaken Gasly and is now dropping back. And it's out of our DRS range. Leclerc up to P2 has overtaken Albon. There may be a pace change. I'm struggling with the back end quite a lot. We have a lot of rear tyre wear, to be fair, so that's not ideal.
The rain's a few lap outs yet, but it is coming, so be careful.
Right. First message regarding the rain as I brake myself again. Just cannot do the chicane sometimes. I really struggle. Let's see when that rain arrives. Might be time for some more moves. The hairpin is just so strong in my favour. It's actually ridiculous. I'm struggling on the rears though. I'm not happy with traction, so that's something I'm worried about. Didn't have this much trouble last year, but not complaining. We're fast, and that's what matters. But you can see I'm skating and drifting. I was going to try and get landed there, but the car was just sliding all the way through that chicane, so I just couldn't get the power down on the exit. So I'm just sitting here for now. If I do get a clear-cut chance, I'll try and go for it, but I'm just trying to manage rears because that's a big reason why I brake bias on 58, to try and get them more towards the front to help the rears kind of get under control a bit. But I'm not happy with the balance. I'm also messing with the diff. Not sure if anyone ahead is on softs, to be fair. Max could well be the last car on soft tyres, that's near us. And everyone ahead is on mediums. Either way, we're going to make some progress. I feel like I'm so strong through the hairpin, I just have to use that advantage. We're now going to get locked into a drag race with our teammate Lando. But we should have the legs to pull in front before the chicane. That way Lando loses minimal time. I was hoping to maybe go 2 for 1 there. Piastri not using DRS, but just that chicane is really not good for me. It's the hairpin where I've got to do the damage. So I've got to try and look to pass them. Here we go then. Piastri opens DRS. Up ahead. Russell battling with Albon. I'll see if I can try and get the drive and the line. A little bit of a slide through there. Piastri closes DRS, but we're just not close enough. Really frustrating. We'll be super strong on a fresh set of tyres, but for now we're just not there. Albon passed by both Mercs, and actually we catch Piastri slow out of turn 3, and we just snatch it away from him. Even though we're not great on traction, we found some grip there, and we passed Piastri. So let's see, the rain is inbound, skies are getting dark. Got to try and filter our way through and get past as many of these as possible. Everyone seems to be on mediums. Oh, that was close. Small correction there. Otherwise I could have got a second warning. Rain feels like it's imminent.
We're expecting some rain soon. Expect the first drops in the next few minutes.
Literally on cue, the engineer hearing what I had to say. Let's try and get Alex. He hasn't got DRS anymore, so it'll be easy pickings. We'll try and close in here. Run it in a bit deep, a bit wide to get the cut back and get the better exit. And now we'll just wait for the DRS. We'll use the battery to try and launch pad onto the Mercedes and not lose DRS in the process. And there we go. P5, we're cooking this race. Here we go, it's raining. This is it. Crucial phase of the race.
Okay, be careful, we think you're going to start losing some tyre grip anytime now.
Into selected. We'll see how my pace holds up in these conditions. We're going to lose DRS on Hamilton here. I just lose out too much for that chicane. Yeah, we should have pit. Track is getting very wet. Spray confirms it. Oh dear. That really isn't ideal. Looks good, but...
Okay, the stewards have now disabled DRS. DRS is now disabled.
Probably isn't the fastest way to get through the chicane. This is going to hamper Lando, but the Mercedes cars are right behind one another, so this could be interesting. Hamilton stays out. We are not going to speed this time. There we go. Getting crossed up, but we get the car stopped crucially. Let's see if we benefit from having a later pit box. We hold up Albon, I believe, or that's Piastri actually. Away we go, we're not held. Or was it Piastri? No, it was Leclerc, but we didn't hold up Leclerc. We held up someone. I'm not sure who it was. Lando stayed out, which is bad news.
Up to speed now, let's get some heat into those tyres.
Right then. I think we held up Albon? No, we already passed Albon. I don't know who we held up, to be fair. Not sure. Either way, back underway. Lando's holding up race leader Bottas right now, which is excellent work. Russell, Lando side by side. Lando will go straight on, of course, and pit.
Lando's coming in for his stop now.
Got a warning for that. I thought I was okay, but clearly not. So got to be careful now. 2 warnings for the second half of this race, although in wet conditions should be less likely. And we're net P4. Pace is very similar between all of us in the front 4. Just trying to find ways or places where I can be stronger than George. We are very, very poor through the final chicane, but we're so strong through the hairpin. Also the exit of turn 2, which is when we pass Piastri, or turn 3.
Okay, heavy rain will be staying with us for a while now. At least a 20-minute window of heavy rain.
That could be full wets then, to be fair. Could be a similar scenario to last year's race. We only had one icon, but 20 minutes of heavy rain. It's a bit different to what was forecast at the start of the Grand Prix. Trying to put the pressure on George. This is the closest I've been. I would pit for wets. I really would. But P2 is right there as we outbreak ourselves into the hairpin. Let myself down there. Could have had a chance at Russell, but the one time I speak, I do a horrible hairpin. That's why I'm not really talking too much, trying to stay focused right now. I've had a good exit out of the hairpin. If I can nail the chicane. No. Rear tyre wear is horrible, by the way. Look, I mean, I've got double the rear tyre wear to the front. Really struggling on rears this race. However, maybe this is where we're strong. This traction zone, particularly. Let's go. Don't care if it's ugly, we're taking it. P3, podium. I'm going to try it and race after Leclerc. It's not going to be easy. Gaining 3.5 seconds. Bottas has been untouchable today. We'll give it a shot. Got a full charge. Yellow flag, turn 1.
Okay, we've got a full course caution. The safety car's out. Keep an eye on the delta. We need to keep it positive to avoid a penalty. Slow down, maintain positive delta. Forecast suggests the rain's going to be lightening up over the next 10 to 15 minutes or so. You should start finding more grip as we clear the standing water. Inters seem to be the fastest tyre for now.
I really want to gamble on a full wet. My God. We'll stay out. I've got track position. I'm not going to gamble now. No point. As much as I'd love to, I want this podium. I reckon we could snag a P2, but I don't know if we'll win. But I want that podium. Right, here we go. Time for the restart. I think we're going to struggle versus full power AI for the first 2 laps. The last lap we might be fine. So we're going to get one shot.
We've got 4 laps of fuel remaining.
We're going to get one shot of this, and we have to pass Leclerc straight away. We've got good tyre temp, so hopefully the tyres hold on. That really wasn't ideal timing for the restart. I can't see a damn thing either, to be fair, which isn't helping. Oh, completely messed that restart up, although I couldn't see anything anyway. Let's see if Leclerc maybe can challenge Bottas. That'd be nice. I'm going to move the brake bias back to 58 before I make a big mistake. Let's keep trying, not give up. Ah, damn it. Leclerc got loose, but so did I. I can stay close here, we may have a chance. This might be the chance. If I can traction up here. Could be the Piastri move all over again. It is. Straight through we go. A bit hot on the brakes, had to get ahead of Leclerc, but we've done it. Could we somehow nab the win from Bottas? I think it'll be unlikely, but we've got to try it. Pace is good. I'm trying, but we're going to fall just short, I think.
We've only got 2 laps of fuel left.
Even knocking the brake bias to the rear to try and give myself a bit of lap time. Bottas is going to hold on though. Just couldn't get close enough. Rear tyre wear really hurt us this race. Pace was so good, but once we hit like 15-20% rear tyre wear, we was in big trouble. Still, good P2, good response in the championship. We'll keep it nice and tidy now through the final chicane as we're on 2 warnings. We'll not take any risk. Well done, Valtteri. Fair play, mate. First win in red, and we'll take that podium. Good way to bounce back after that horrible race in Spain.
Top job, mate. Top job. Yes. I was a bit worried about this one at the start of the weekend, but man, you pulled through. Thank you. Well done.
They take the checkered flag then here in Canada in what has been another fabulous Grand Prix. So Natalie, what do you think helped them deliver this result?
Now, I'm not sure how keen I am on wet weather, but it is thrilling in terms of the race. The fans seem to enjoy it at least. It can be an absolute nightmare for the drivers though.
Ferrari are at it again. An excellent performance at today's Grand Prix, and they're certainly a team that know what they're doing out there.
Well, there we go, guys. A really fun race. Very much happy with that. A good result. Valtteri wins in Formula 1 again, this time for Ferrari. Who would have thought that a few years ago? Second place is ours. We beat our rival Charles Leclerc, our new rival, so that's great news. George Russell, P4, the first of the Mercedes cars. The improved Haas, Albon, P5, Piastri, P6. So good points haul for Aston Martin. Gasly, P7, Verstappen, P8, Magnussen, the points, and Ocon, P10. Hulkenberg misses out, Norris misses out, Perez, Hamilton, some big names not scoring points. Sainz, DNF with the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. So, standings, P6, really good result. Gets us above Sainz, 7 points behind Leclerc, 11 behind Verstappen, 14 behind Bottas. So happy with that. Could have been better. Most of these people around us finished where we were, so we didn't really gain that much besides beating Sainz and pulling away from Perez. But still, it is what it is. Constructors, P5, no points for Lando, so the gap to Aston Martin has actually grown a little bit in that race. The gap is 28 points, if my math is correct. So yeah, Mercedes lead cut down a bit by Bottas's victory. So some pain in the championship for them. As for us, we're still not a million miles off. I mean, Ferrari are approx 65 points up the road, so it's not impossible. A few upgrades and we could be there. So yeah, guys, hopefully you enjoyed. I said I wanted a podium, maybe a win, but we tried, we couldn't get there, but still a good performance, good recovery. Like the video, subscribe for more daily F1 content, and yeah. Cheers guys for watching. As always, a big shout out to the members for supporting the channel. That's always very welcome, and you guys are legends. And yeah, finally check out the 2 videos on screen, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you soon. Adios.